The fork froze halfway to my mother's mouth. My father's jaw locked like a vault snapping shut. That was when I knew. We were seated around the old dining table, the one with the crack running through the center like a fault line. My cousin was laughing, careless, wine glass confidence spilling over. "New Year's is going to be insane this year," he said. "I booked early. Whole family together." He looked at me last, smiled. "Well, almost everyone." No one spoke. The silence wasn't awkward. It was guilty. I didn't ask a question. I didn't look at my wife. I didn't glance at my kids, who were too busy arguing over bread to notice they'd just been quietly erased from their own bloodline. I kept chewing. That night, I replayed the moment like surveillance footage. The way my mother avoided my eyes. The way my father cleared his throat, too late, too loud. The way no one corrected him. They had planned a family vacation without my kids. Not because of money, not logistics. Because my children were inconvenient. Too loud, too much. A disruption to the curated image they liked to present. They didn't say it out loud. They never did. They just rewrote the definition of family and hoped I wouldn't notice. I noticed. I thought back to the man my father used to be. The one who taught me how to swim by pushing me into the deep end, then watching to see if I'd sink. He called it tough love. I called it trust. I believed him when he said blood mattered. That loyalty was non-negotiable. That was before I built a life he didn't control. Before my kids laughed too freely. Before my wife stopped asking for permission. The signs had been there. Fewer calls, invitations that came late or not at all, photos from small gatherings that always seemed to exclude us. I told myself I was busy, that families drift. Then my cousin said one sentence and the truth stood up on the table. They didn't drift. They decided. I didn't confront anyone. I didn't send a message. I didn't ask for an explanation wrapped in excuses. I went quiet. Quiet is where clarity lives. I opened my calendar. I checked my accounts. I looked at my children sleeping, mouths open, dreams unburdened by adult politics. And I made a decision that felt calm, not angry. If they wanted a family New Year without my kids, I would give my kids a New Year they'd never forget. I booked Dubai that same night. Front row fireworks, Burj views, a hotel where the staff knelt to speak to my children like they mattered. I planned every detail with surgical focus. No shortcuts. No compromises. This wasn't escape. It was a statement. I didn't tell anyone. The plane lifted off on December 29th. My phone stayed on airplane mode. For once, the world didn't get access to my reaction. My kids pressed their faces to the window like they were watching a promise take shape. On New Year's Eve, we stood on a balcony high above the city. The air smelled like warm metal and salt. The skyline glowed like a challenge. When the fireworks started, my son shouted my name. My daughter clapped like she'd discovered joy for the first time. I took one photo. Just one. Fireworks exploding over Dubai, my kids in the frame, my wife's hand on my arm. The caption was simple. Family. I posted it at midnight. The phone rang at 6:12 a.m. I knew who it was before it buzzed the table. I answered on the third ring. "What the hell is this?" My father barked. No greeting, no pretense. Rage cracked through the speaker like static. I said nothing. "You think you're clever?" he continued. "Running off like this? Making us look bad?" That was the moment. Not when he yelled, but when he said us. I put the call on speaker. My wife didn't stop me. She already knew. "Who's us?" I asked. Silence, a beat too long. My mother's voice cut in sharp and panicked. "Why are people calling? Why is everyone asking why your kids weren't invited?" I smiled. They hadn't told anyone the truth. They'd let the lie stand. A quiet exclusion neatly packaged. Until the fireworks. Until the questions. Until the math stopped working. "You planned a family vacation without my children," I said, calm as glass. I didn't object. I just made my own plans. "You embarrassed us," my father snapped. "No," I said. "You exposed yourselves." He started to argue. I hung up. By noon, the story had spread. Aunts calling. Uncles texting. My cousin apologizing, suddenly aware he'd been the match. I didn't respond. I watched my kids build sandcastles under a foreign sun. I watched my wife laugh without restraint. I felt something loosen in my chest. I didn't lose a family. I lost an illusion, and in return, I gave my children a memory that will outlive every excuse they ever made. Some people think revenge has to be loud. They're wrong. Sometimes it's fireworks over a city that never asked you to shrink. Sometimes it's silence that finally tells the truth.